Oh! Alright, it's that time again. Time for another solo overnighter in the woods. I'm thinking we go old school. Military bushcraft. Let's get to it. To me, the one piece of underrated gear that should be on you at all times of the year, no matter what, is some type of poncho. Now, this is an authentic USGI Marine Corps poncho from the late 90s. I don't suggest you get one of these unless it's pristine, brand new, because a lot of times I found that around the seams it starts to leak if it truly is 25 years old and has been used. Brand new, different story. Point is, carry a poncho, and you want that poncho to be the same size as one of those emergency tarps, minimum 5x7. So you've seen me wear this harness, and I try to post one every single week on my Etsy page, that way you guys can get a chance to get a hold of one. I want to try and revamp this old school retro gear. Why? Because there was nothing wrong with it. I'm a firm believer in not trying to fix something that's not broken. And if I had it my way, I would relive 91 till 99 the rest of my life, and over and over and over. Those were good years. Things seemed to flow properly, and then it got kind of messed up, and then this alternate reality like Back to the Future skewed off, and it's where we're at now. I live my life that way. You've watched me build complex shelters using an arbor knot. I don't need to learn 100 knots when 1 or 2 will suffice. Keep it simple, stupid. And I find that the more you try to convolute and complicate things, the only one you're really trying to impress is yourself. When it can be done faster or the same way, a lot easier. And that's moving forward in my channel, what I'm going to be doing here, along with midweek videos. I'm going to keep it as basic and as simple as possible and show you all these things you can do with that simplicity. So let's go ahead and take this poncho, add another one to it, create an A-frame style shelter, get bushcrafty with it, and get her done. So I figured moving forward too, I'll briefly talk about gear I'm using. In this video we have the Swiss Army knife Victorinox Ranger Grip 78, and it's red. And we have a Mora Garberg. I dare anyone to talk crap about the Garberg. It's a good quality knife, same with the Mora Bushcraft Black. They're very affordable and they've stood their test of time. So if you're looking for something cheap, just to grab something real quick, under 100 bucks, here you go. You're always going to get this available on Amazon. It's always going to be there somewhere. The same with this one. Now, this model is red. Here's why. I've dropped enough of these that were darker colors that you have to search for. Also, I found that once again on Amazon, this will always be available no matter what. The old trusty timber hitch, we're going to just go around several times and pull her tight. They're going to wrap this bipod 3 times around. They're going to frap 3 times. Maybe 2, I don't know. See how we're feeling. There's 1, 2, and 3. Let's not count that one, and we'll just go one more because we have a lot of extra cordage here. And every single time you do a frap, you want to go ahead and use a stick or even your pocket knife. You want to go ahead and you want to pull that as tight as you can. That way it will squeeze these lashes together, or your wraps, and the bank line will bind on itself. Do that one more time, and then we'll finish it off here with the constrictor. Just going to pull it tight here. I'm going to ratchet it back. Put our overhand knot or the stopper knot right there. And there we go. So keeping with the theme of simplicity, I already talked about creating complex structures over the years using an arbor knot. All I'm going to do here is go around both pieces, go around that one there, creates a knot. That is now your slip loop, or your slip knot. Using my shorter tail, create one more knot. Now the trick to the arbor knot is you have to hear it ratchet down like an actual plastic zip tie. So here we go. Once you get it as tight as possible, you'll do one more overhand knot right here. So a simple bipod lash for our bipod. Bi means two, like bipedal, we walk around. And our ridge pole, we had an arbor knot. Just going to lift that ridge pole, slide our bipod underneath. And just like Doctor Who's TARDIS, it's bigger on the inside. Now check this out. By simply just pulling it a good 1.5 to 2 inches over my ridge pole, there's that natural flap that will facilitate the water runoff on the shelter. Alright, so far so good. We're looking outstanding. We're flying our ponchos, meaning they're not touching the ground. So you have airflow going underneath here. We have airflow going this way. We have our flap right here to facilitate the water runoff. And our sides are pulled out, making it wider on the inside. So, let's go inside and check it out. Alright, I'm happy. This is larger than most two-man tents, and it's sure as hell larger than the two-man pup tents or shelter halves from the military back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So I'm thinking an early morning hunt. We get up like at 2, 3 a.m., go out, get a frog, come back, cook that bad boy up for morning chow. But tonight, I'm thinking a catch and cook. I have a fishing pole for active fishing. I'm out there actively trying to catch a fish. But there's also passive fishing, where you create some type of trap or a system where a spring pole will actually set the hook in the fish's mouth. And I'm thinking we do that with an L7 spring pole fish trap. So real quick, an L7 is nothing more than 2 L's or 1 7 and an L that oppose, like this. This one here would be connected to your spring pole with the string going out. As soon as the fish grabs it, it lets go, and the spring pole sets that hook. I like teaching this for a beginner trap. It has a difficulty of probably 1 to 2 out of 10. And here's why. That simple L7 notch can be applied to so many different things, kind of like an arbor knot. Why learn 100 different knots to do all these things when 1 or 2 will do all these things? So the L7 is an actual bushcraft notch that you use for tent stakes, Y branches from hangers, pot hangers. The midweek video that I showed you about the one bushcraft tool that you need, it's a bottle and pot hanger, and so much more, land and sea traps, things like that. So, my opinion, it should be taught first and use it for several different applications. So the spring pole fish trap using Y branches, point on this end, pound it in the ground. This one right here goes underneath here. Your string or leader gets attached here and gets tossed out in the water. The top one gets attached to your spring pole. The fish pulls this, it rolls off, and it sets the hook. Same thing here, point on this end, drive it in the ground. We're going to go ahead and round out the top here so we can drive it into the ground. About 1.5 inches down or so, we're going to carve our L7 notch. Right about here, I'm going to push down into it, give myself a stop cut, and all we're going to do is I'm going to remove that material. This notch right here is for our leader that goes out to the water. This notch here is for our string that goes up to our spring pole. This L7 I now have to carve down a little bit to get it to match up or marry up to this one. And there you go. You want it barely on there so that anything that tugs on that leader, it will come right off. And that's why I teach and preach the L7 spring pole snare. It can be used for land or sea, and you see how sensitive that actually is. A tiny sunfish like that set it off, so imagine a big boy. So a couple more times like that and we'll be in business for this evening. Oh! Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Look at that. Nice. Look at that white meat right there. You want to catch and cook? You got one. I'm thinking about his frog legs though. Catch you all in a few. Alright, so here's what's happening right now. There's several small creeks and ponds. I'm gonna go scout them. I'm gonna end this bad boy off right now and collect firewood, keep that fire smoldering. It's gonna get dark here in about an hour and a half. We're gonna go out and we're going to look for some frogs for morning chow. Catch you all in a few. You have to hit the frog at the right spot to capture it, and the barb prevents it from coming back. This gig right here is shaped upward like this, so when the frog goes inside, there's also these little indentations. It can't pull itself off because it's going to go up in an angle and be trapped. And as you saw, it worked out fine. You stab it in the midsection, it's not going to come back off. So those that were standing idly by to see if it worked, it works. And it's on my Etsy page. So speaking of that, we're getting ready to have chow here. My Etsy shop is open. Once again, the Etsy store is open. We have our, as usual, cold handle skillets. We have military surplus gear. I believe there's an LBV harness on there, which is hard to come by, that's complete. So check that out. We have granite ware, we have cups, things like that. So go to my video description box, click on my Etsy store, and good luck. The Etsy shop opens the same time videos drop on Sundays. Oh, we also have the last 120 out of 1,000 Corporals Corner patches. So once those are out, I have something else in store. So stick with me. Frog, the other white meat. Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about this shelter. A simple 2-tarp or 2-poncho shelter. All we do is button them together, drape it over a ridge pole, bipod in the front, and we got her done. The best part is we used arbor knots and 1 bipod lash, okay? And simply just tied it off and staked her out. Something I thought of for a while now, just never did it. And if you got 2 people with 2 ponchos, you're in business. And as you see inside there, it's a hell of a lot bigger than the military pup tents and most 2-man tents as well. The best part is you're going to pack out a poncho and your partner packs out his. So you can go ultralight and have a large tent, airflow, and keep the rain off. More great things to come. Real quick here, let's go ahead and talk about this survivalist hatchet. I've been carrying this bad boy for about a month now, okay? And I'm 100% sold. Now, I heard somebody make a comment that that's not a bushcraft pack axe, that's not a survival hatchet, it's not a tomahawk, you're a sellout. Well, there's something called reality, and then there's fantasy, okay? Fantasy is you buy all this bushcrafty survival gear that you use once or twice a month or on a weekend, okay? While you still go to your job, whether that be in a cubicle or on a construction job site. Okay. I have a construction background, and on my channel I do construction builds that combine bushcraft survival and also construction to create projects. Something that you'd probably end up doing in reality if crap hit the fan. Okay. So once I started using this pack axe or this survival hatchet for those builds, and I saw that, wow, there's a recessed cup in there, it will actually keep the nail inside there. I can remove those screws. Wait a minute, I can still process wood, de-limb poles as well, process firewood. To me, that's a one tool, one and done. Why would I carry a pack axe and one of these to do my builds? Okay, and a straight pack axe is rounded. It's not built to do the things that construction hammers are. Okay, so you have a hammer slash hatchet. So it's a one and done for me. So I'm 100% sold. Now this also falls in the reality and fantasy. Fantasy is this and that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Well, reality is you're allowed to change your mind when a better tool comes along, or a tool that will save you time or combine different processes. And that to me is what it's all about. So if you're interested in something like this, you want to check it out, the Hardcore Hammers link is inside my description box. Click that link, use the code right here, CCUSFree23, and you're going to get free shipping site-wide. With that, all the gear in my videos can be found in 3 places. 1, my Amazon influencer page, and 2, my Self-Reliance Outfitters influencer page. And now 3, my Etsy page. All 3 links can be found inside my description box. Now please do me that favor, hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. And as always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.